Good morning everyone, welcome back to Hearthstone. My name is Rooster and we're playing Aggro Shaman today. A deck often despised by people for being rather well, playable without really concentrating much, although as usual more decisions go into your turns than people who aren't familiar with the deck might often think. As usual, with a deck like Zoo or a deck like Aggro Paladin, I usually say the decisions for these decks are usually made in the early game. In the very early game even. Whereas the control decks don't really have that many decisions in the early game and have to make all their decision points in the late game. And that's why this feels tilted a little bit. I think I'll keep, the mulligan, for example, is while it is important for control decks as well, makes a huge difference for aggro decks because it really changes their decisions in the early game and the amount of decisions they have available. So yeah. For example, right now, I could make the decision to play Finley right now. And right here, there's the obvious play of playing the Totem Golem, but that means this dies to the Eternal Sentinel, which I don't really like, so I would be tempted to coin out one of these Argent Horse Riders and make this trade instead. Because that would likely force him to Rock Biter or Lightning Bolt this, which is a lot better for me. He's playing Eternal Sentinels though. What does that tell us about his deck? That's a really, really early hex. I'm not sure that's the right decision. But I can't fault him right now, of course. Let's actually Finley here and see what we get. Just so we have a little more information to work with. In a deck with Hex, I would also expect Lightning Storm. And definitely don't mind the life tap here, but of course not playing it right now. Totem Golem's pretty good. And life tap, as usual, pretty good for the aggressive Shaman. Because it will allow us to just continue going while our opponent's hand dwindles. Let's think. Is this worth spending a Rock Biter on? That's a good question. We could Horse Rider. That's not that great right now. I think I'll throw in a tap. Oh, and there's one of our own. That might actually be decent for next turn, I think. Maybe we'll just get rid of this next turn. As long as he doesn't Lightning Storm right now, we should be okay. Let's just put some stuff on the board, and I think go on the aggressive. Because us trading for the Faceless right now is not going to end well. Was my music absolutely gone, or? No, it should be an acceptable level. If you think I'm being too loud compared to the music, please do tell. I find it hard to judge personally. Well, I don't really mind dealing, let's say, 5 and 3. That means 8 damage to face. 8 damage to face. I get a tap in, and then and what? Tap and Lava Burst? That seems a bit greedy, but I also don't like trading into the Doomsayer now. Well, that's also not awful. That's quite a decision point. Let's tap first and see what we get. I don't hate trading into the Doomsayer here, and especially with the Feral Spirits. I think that's correct. I think that's still reasonable. Since we have a taunt for the Faceless, I don't hate it. If he gets a spell power Lightning Storm off, that's pretty much curtains though. So that's why I'm a little worried right now. Ooh, or that one, I Or that one, I guess. At least he didn't combine it with Helazil. Ooh, please not the healing totem. It's pretty bad. Let's see. So we could do a faceless of ourselves, but that's actually really bad right now. Or waste a rock biter and that's not good. Yeah, see, we should have just ignored the Doomsayer altogether, and then we could have perhaps even won this turn. I'm not. He wouldn't have elemental destructions if he didn't. I might just rock bite that with my face. How's that? I prefer that over doing it with this thing. Yeah, let's do that. It greatly limits the amount of cards we're able to draw, though, and that's what worries me a little bit. But he should be unable to do much this turn. So that means we can faceless next turn, perhaps abusive, perhaps something else, depending on what we draw. Should be okay. Should be okay. Unless he's on. Oh, that's slow. I'm a little worried about another board wipe next turn, but that's probably fine. Let's get some damage in. I think we're also drawing. That's fine. If he's taking it slow, then so can we. Definitely want to play one of the facelesses though. And let's start pushing to face. I'm not too worried about the healing totem, even though he could Flame Tongue and then trade into the abusive. That's fine with me though. Perhaps Argus would be awkward. There's definitely an excuse to trade into the healing totem, and perhaps I should have last turn. That's not bad. Okay, another Hex. That means the last faceless is going to have to be dealt with properly. We have 4 damage, we have 8 damage and 5, but not quite the mana to do it. I don't think we clear though. Oh wait, we can... No, we cannot. How about we try the juggle? Does the juggle help? The juggle doesn't really help. I'm a little scared about the Helazil plus Elemental Destruction, which is something that this deck might run. Can't really afford to tap here. Do we just push for damage? I don't hate pushing for damage. Could this deck be a bursty one? Okay, let's go for it. Let's just go for it. Board is clear, and he needs to do something, and Helazil doesn't let him heal for much, even. There is the Helazil, so he could just double Lightning Bolt face, perhaps. Oh, the spell power. Oh, he has to Stormcrack his own Helazil, that's pretty nice. Oh, okay, Stormcrack the totem, I guess that works. We don't have lethal yet. Should we tap to find lethal? There's not much that we can get, actually. I think we just flood again. Let's see. Yeah, I don't hate flooding here. The Helazil is a little worrisome, because if he has a Lightning Storm here, then we're pretty much screwed. But, yeah. I think that's a better option than tapping for lethal and just dying next turn. Please don't have a Lightning Storm. Oh. Okay, another Stormcrack then. Another Stormcrack for 6, heals for 6. Helazil kills that. And then we hit for 9, and we need one more. Do we serious? Okay, we're tapping for 1 damage, that's for sure. Alright. Alright. We're tapping for 1 damage. And that's fine. Yeah, if he had a Lightning Storm or an Elemental Destruction, that would be really unfortunate, I guess. Sometimes that's just the risk you're going to take. You have to balance being able to win at all versus being able to win next turn. Alright. Well, that's Aggro Shaman in a nutshell, yeah. Even if they get their healing, it may not always be enough.
Throw versus Garrosh.
Versus Garrosh, alright, that's another tricky matchup, I think. How do I feel about keeping Ancestral Knowledge? How do I feel about keeping Doomhammer, even? I could Trog into Knowledge, and then the turn after, can I Sentinel on turn 3? Perhaps I can. If I coin for it. It's still not awful. I'm tempted to just keep all of this. Though that is really weak against coin War Axe, right? That is really weak against coin War Axe. I don't think I keep either of these then. I think keeping Doomhammer is not crazy. And I doubt whether this is better, actually. Although if a warrior goes first, then the chances of War Axe aren't actually that great. I could even coin out a second one, although I can also do that next turn. How do I feel about coining a... No, that's too greedy. How's that greedy? It feels greedy. But now he does get the opportunity to kill both of them in one turn, and otherwise I would have been able to get another hit in. I'm not sure how I feel about that. We could Totem, although that sounds really weak. Though next turn we can Faceless, which does make up for that. We can Flame Juggle for one to face and eat the axe. Let's actually Totem and just see what happens. It's a weak one, but that's... yeah, it might still eat an axe, so it's not awful. And can we actually coin the Faceless now? I don't think we want to coin the Faceless actually, because we could still Faceless next turn, and we could fish for a Taunt Totem. I kind of like that idea. Or we fish for a Juggler now. We can't really play the Tunnel Trog, but I do like coining out a Juggler here, just to eat the axe. And eventually we'll reach the point where we can just hero power for a Taunt Totem always, and that's a pretty good spot for us. He can Whirlwind, I guess, but doesn't feel that great. So another axe, okay. Okay, well, we'll be in there for a while. Yeah, I don't feel too horrible about playing the Faceless now. We can't really just keep toteming, and he doesn't have enough armor to really worry about that too much. He could bash and shield slam. He could shield block and shield slam. That does work. No real way to play around that though. So if he armor up shield slam and hit into it, that's fine with me. Then at least he takes the 7-1s, so that's probably okay. And he's still used one shield slam, so that's good to keep track of. Hand seems weak. How do I feel about toteming here? Well, if my hand is weak, well, I'm mostly worried about playing the Trog into the axe, but it has to happen sometime, I guess. If I get a Taunt Totem though, then I can play the Trog behind it. And I might be able to get some value out of it next turn, so could be okay. I'm not sure what he would do here. Well, okay, at least we know what we're up against now. That's actually curious. How do I feel about Doomhammer next turn? Depends on whether we get something to play along with it. Oh, that's also not awful. Let's Ancestral Knowledge in that case, because that's a likely play next turn anyway. Oh, we can double Ancestral... we can Eternal Sentinel next turn, that's probably still fine. If we overload for a bunch here. I do want to play the Flame Tongue here. So let's do that. Could just cancel the... overload right now, but I kind of feel... If we double overload, we have 3 mana next turn, then we unlock 4 crystals. That should be fine. So we unlock 4 crystals with the Eternal Sentinel. We can even squeeze in a lightning bolt, which is sweet. Do we kill that? We could actually. And we could still totem afterwards. Oh, yeah, I like the spell power totem better than the healing totem. That's the problem here. Do we kill the Doomsayer? I guess we do. Oh, and we can play this one to the left, so that's fine. Lightning bolt this, and then rock biter it. I don't like that. I can just abuse if. That's probably okay.
I can see what is to come.
Oh, and actually we can Horse Rider here and then still hit face. How's that?
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Giddy up. I knew it.
And then I like the Divine Shield with that thing, so...
Little time.
Oh, I don't want to place it there. I definitely don't. Clear the armor. Get some minions on the field. Even if he whirlwinds, there's still plenty of minions left, so that's fine. Definitely don't want to waste a rock biter here. I guess I could have also... Was there a way to Doomhammer there? If I Eternal Sentineled first, then I could have Doomhammered afterwards and then still cleared? No, then I couldn't clear. So that's kind of important. Yeah, and that's that didn't seem awful. So that's pretty good for us. Let's see. Do we worry about that ghoul? We can deal 9 to face right now. We can deal 19. So is that lethal? That is lethal. Let's actually count. This is 7, that's 9, this is 19, and then the lightning bolt equals... No, that's not lethal. See? See? It's important to count. Do we trade into this guy then? I guess we do. Let's discover a new hero power. Because I don't like this one. That's not awful. Sure. I'll take the druid. And do we get the damage in? Oh, then we can attack it with this with face, so that's excellent. Excellent. We're just 1 mana off lethal there. Or 1 damage off lethal. So that should mean we should be in a pretty good spot next turn. Although, of course, the Cthulhu stuff could come out. That still means he's dead, right? We still have the lava burst, so yeah, definitely. There we go. And that's how a little bit of thinking can eke out some edges sometimes. So that's pretty cute. I like that. There is still some thought involved, but from the side of the control deck, it can feel a little, yeah, a little brainless. But most of the time, I think that's actually because the control deck has less options than the aggro deck in those situations. Because in the control deck, most of their cards are expensive, so they can really only play a couple of options from their hand. Their removal might be conditional. They might have to reserve some removal for specific answers. So they don't have that many, as many answers as they may think, which is an interesting way to look at it. I'm not going to declare it gospel, but definitely something to keep in mind when you're playing an aggro deck. There are definitely decisions to be made. Against a hunter, that's interesting. Can we raise a hunter? Our hand is terrible though, and I'm more likely to face a midrange hunter, I think. So let's actually take life tap. It's a little dangerous, but I think it's better than the hunter hero power. Those are actually 3 really interesting options. The Druid Hero Power is definitely not what we want there. Yeah, we're tapping. And we're trading. If Finley dies here, that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it happens sometimes. Fiery Bet is no indication of our opponent playing aggro. And that's a good one for us, yes. We might still Lightning Bolt it though, although that's really awkward with regards to our mana. So I definitely want to Feral Spirit here. And start building up some pressure. She probably can't easily deal with it. We do have to start clearing beasts starting next turn because I'm a little worried about Houndmaster. And that's the only real punish here. Still not that great, because she still has to trade 2 hounds into each Feral Spirit, and it leaves the Leok at 2 health, so we can easily deal with that. Well, easily being relative, of course. Could use the Abusive or the Lightning Bolt. I kind of don't want to be overloaded for next turn, though. So let's trade in the Finley. And do it this way. Reason you don't want to be overloaded for turn 5 is mostly to keep your options open to play Doomhammer if available. And I'm certainly happy I did, because that thing needs to die. Actually, Explosive Trap is not uncommon. So I might... I kinda don't want to have my Abusive Sergeant die against that. So I'll take this trade. If that's a snake, that's really unfortunate. But in this case, it turns out for the better, I think. I was expecting an explosive or a bear, and either would have been fine, I think. Okay, and we can now start dealing some damage, finally. So that's good. Have we seen... This could be a Yogg Hunter, actually. Interesting. Should definitely keep clearing every beast if possible. Although if she drops something which she can't right now... Oh, she's racing. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. It's a race. Do I clear... I do think I clear that with my face and just play a faceless. I kinda like that. There's plenty of burst coming, and having the 7/7 around is going to be much better than the alternatives. She might still have a beast to play the Houndmaster on, but that should allow us to trade the faceless in, so that's pretty good. She could try a 50-50 deadly shot, but I don't really see that happen. And we've got 12 damage plus an additional 12 damage in hand, right? 12 damage on the table, 17 damage, 20 damage. And then we need a little something more. Can we afford to let the hunter hit our face with that, though? I don't think that it's really an option to not do that. What we could do... No, that's not... I'm not lightning bolting that. If she taunts it up, how terrible is that? How terrible is a taunt here? Well, it's going to be awkward regardless, right? We're not getting any spell power, so I could charge and then lightning bolt it. I kind of don't like it, but it does remove damage from the table for her. It could lead to lethal next turn, so let's do it this way. Oh, did I hit face the second time? I did. Okay. Another consideration would be to clear one of the wolves. Not sure. To clear both of the hyenas even. I don't like that. But it could have been the right choice actually. Curious. I would prefer for that to not hit anything important. Yes, I like that. And now we have another 7 from hand. Ooh, that attacks face. So 7 from hand, 4 from Doomhammer. Is entirely fine, because we still have this one.
I fight.
Elements guide me. Elements guide me.
And there we go. I'm not dissatisfied with my decisions there. That actually turned out pretty nicely. I definitely don't want to take all the credit here, but this deck is really overperforming right now. We'll get put in our place soon enough, I feel, because this deck is definitely not unbeatable by most decks in the meta right now. But we've been having some nice games so far. Okay, so another hunter there.
Let the hunt begin for Doomhammer.
I don't think I want to keep 2 totem golems, and I actually think even though the flame juggler is kinda good, I want to mulligan for something that costs 1. So that means throwing both out? That sounds greedy. I can always totem golem and then flame juggler the turn after, that's acceptable. I don't want to keep all of them, but this is probably okay.
Greetings, friend.
Oh, and that's a good top deck. Game helping us out here. I appreciate that. Fiery bat, no fiery bat. He coins a quick shot. Okay, that's probably justified. Probably justified, but it can feel kind of bad. I'll be completely honest there. Could do the juggler and then the feral spirit next turn, but I'm perfectly fine with the golem now and then the juggler next turn. And if that's a freezing... I might as well get rid of it as soon as possible. It's most definitely a freezing. Or I suppose it could be a bear. If it's a bear, how do I feel about that? Well, fact of the matter is there's not much I can do about it either way, so I might as well just trigger it now. I don't think Bear Trap is played that often since the removal of Mad Scientist from Standard. I don't feel... I'm entirely okay with the freezing traps, what I'm trying to say. That is a trait I'm willing to make here, because of this sergeant here, and then we can taunt up, which is okay. I appreciate that. Means we cannot Doomhammer next turn, but this does provide us with a decent board, whereas the other options would be kind of awkward. Still gives us some awkward options for this turn, which I'm not enamored by, but yeah, let's Finley and see what we get. Some awkward options here. Reinforced could be decent, but it's not something I'm really enthusiastic about. And if we're getting into a racing situation, then armor up might actually be decent. It's not something I'm willing to do right now, though. So definitely playing the Argent Squire in that case. I would have hero powered if I would have gotten a Warlock or a Hunter one. Perhaps even a Mage one. Not quite sure. I'm curious as to what comes out now. Okay. Bounce up that one. I guess it's awkward enough. Let me think about this. Probably just want to Doomhammer here, and then where do we make our trades? Probably trade these into the bat. Yes. Or just hammer the bat first. No, I don't like that. So let's see about this. Don't really care about the board at all right now. Trades are going to be really awkward. Actually, I can get rid of the wolf, so that means getting rid of all beasts, and that's a good thing. because another Handmaster would be unfortunate. So yeah, that's okay. If he plays a Savannah here, yeah, that's the main concern usually. Probably trading into the 4-1 and then not worrying too much about the other stuff. How about... Well, I can Ancestral Knowledge and then see what I get. I have a Lava Shock, so that's good. Can Lava Shock to eliminate 4, that costs 2 mana, so I still have 3. I'm not going to worry about the Savannah, I can probably out-armor that eventually. Don't like it too much, but sure. This is a decent turn to Lava Shock, so that's okay. And then we can play this and just start going face, I think. He hasn't shown any indication of having... what was I trying to say? Having Unleash on hand. And I'm not sure I really care about Unleash that much right now. Would allow him to clear most of the board. This Armor Up might be more relevant than I thought. What would the trap be? I can attack with Finley first. Although, do I really want a different hero power? That's a good question. Another relevant question, am I dead next turn? All these interesting questions. Could be explosive. If it's explosive, is that terrible? No, it's probably okay. I'm not going to kill this anyway. So might as well attack with Finley first and just see what we get. Okay, that's fine. We have 3, we have 7, we have 10 damage right now. So next turn he's dead as long as we Lightning Bolt face at some point. That's fine, so we can overload.
I fight.
We can overload a little. It's actually something to be concerned about, so we don't want to... We definitely want to armor up, because he has 9, he has 11 damage. He could easily kill us, but let's Lightning Bolt face just in case. If he taunts up, then we could be in trouble. And then at least we have the option of... did I not attack face with the Doomhammer? I completely forgot to attack face with the Doomhammer twice. That's great, that's great. We can still kill him next... Oh, double kill command. Yeah, that happens. Oh, is that... Oh, he still has his hero power. Okay. Yeah, that's well played. That's a lot of burst. I don't think there's any way I could have played around that. I missed the Doomhammer, that's a little awkward. Maybe I could have armored up once more. But I think this is the best job we had, so don't feel too guilty about that. Let's give it one more game, shall we? Alright, we'll give it one more other game, because I just got a phone call halfway through the last game, and, well, I can't really, well, no, that's just boring content, so I'm skipping out the last game. It was one against N'Zoth Paladin, which, when they start going, is tough to beat for this deck. So that's definitely a loss, I'm not gonna lie about that. That's a really bad matchup. I think. There could be situations in which you're fast enough to actually raise them, and in that case it's actually pretty good for us, for you. Let's think about this. The Eternal Sentinel is actually not that good right now, I think. I could just play it as a 3-2, which is not horrible. Okay, I'll keep these 3. Does give me something to coin, and then it's a little. The curve doesn't really match up, and that's mostly because of the overload costs, of course. So that's a little awkward. We'll see what cards we draw. Coining the Totem Golem doesn't look awful right now. And we might even draw 1-drop to make this really good next turn. So definitely Totem Golem here, which is tough for the Voidwalker to get a decent trade against, unless he power overwhelmings. That looks kind of awkward. So this is pretty good. And I even got a 1-drop. Oh, I can't even Sentinel. I can Sentinel here. But trading my hero power in for a new one is not awful. I should have kept curve considerations in mind though. Do we want to heal or shapeshift or... interesting. I think shapeshift is the pick here, because it can actually help us get rid of some nasty small minions, which the Zoo deck might be willing to throw out. Such as the 1/1 imps that come out of the Imp King boss. That's entirely okay, I think. We are certainly going face here. That's without a doubt. So if he smashes in here, he'll have an abusive sergeant probably, or perhaps a dark iron dwarf. Oh, I would have expected one of those already. That's not an awful trade still, so I can understand that one. But life tapping means he's going slow on tempo, which is good for us. Let's see if we can get any real benefits here. We could kill all of the board except the Imp King boss, and I think I like that one. That means we Sentinel and then we Flame Tongue. I could also not kill the Imp. Oh, I can hero power the Imp, how's that? But then I can't kill this one. Still a little awkward. So this, oh, the Finley kills this, and then this one kills... Yeah, it's still awkward. If this one kills... I can do this and then Totem Golem, how's that? Is that better? I don't think that's better, but he still doesn't have a great trade here. And I will have some minions left over. That's probably still fine. I don't have to go full aggro here, although I could. We can play the board control game for just a little bit more here. And I did just miss one damage and took some stupid damage on my Feral Spirit, so that's definitely a mistake. I should have done that the other way around. I'm not sure what got into me there. Because now... Yeah, that's really awful, actually. Oh, now that trades into the Totem Golem. That might actually be acceptable. Still not great, mind you, but acceptable. And I'll settle for that. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good, though. Well, the Flame Tongue is decent, although we could also Horse Rider. If we Horse Rider, then this trades, then this trades. That is fine, although not exceptional. We can't make any good trades without any outside assistance, though. So if we Flame Tongue and then Hero Power, Flame Tongue lets this trade, this is still the same trade, then we can Hero Power this one down. So that's basically the same, only I have a Flame Tongue totem instead of a Horse Rider on the field. I don't like that.
Don't worry, love. The cavalry's here.
I don't think I like that. So still making this trade, unfortunately, but I get to make this trade. And that's probably okay-ish. Doesn't look too well for us. I'm thinking whether that silly decision to take 1 damage on the Feral Spirit really made a difference, and I think it may have, actually. I think that may have been much more relevant than you would originally assume. That's really awkward. How about we Flame Tongue here? That seems really awkward, but at least the Void Walker dies, which is something that might be tough to deal with otherwise. Seems really awkward though. But at least we can Faceless after, and he only has 5 damage to deal with that. He will have some attack buffs, but he has to trade his entire board into it, which I think is okay. Other options include Ancestral Knowledge, Hero Power. Let's quickly dismiss that one. Yes. Yes, because if he kills this, then he's not killing the Flame Tongue, which is good for us. Might have a power overwhelming, which would still not allow him to kill the Flame Tongue. I'm not sure how good a Flame Tongue without any minions on the board is, but it's something, and it might worry him. So that might be good enough. Oh! Well... I'm kind of okay with that, because he's at least not using it to kill me. That Sea Giant, however, is going to be a little awkward. Let's see, he can kill the Flame Tongue now. Yes, he can, and he probably should. But we do at least get some 1/1s to just one 1/1. Doesn't feel too great. I may have to Lava Burst that thing and then run a lot of stuff into it, or I can just go face, but that's not a race I'm going to win with a Sea Giant on the field, I'm afraid. I cannot Horse Rider. Okay, so I'm always casting this, because I'm going to need something desperately. Can we kill that next turn? We can still do the Lava Burst plus Horse Rider, but then we can do Lava Burst plus Lightning Bolt on that thing. That could be okay. In that case I can Hero Power, or I can do the Lightning Bolt now. I don't hate doing the Lightning Bolt now, actually. No need to take any unnecessary damage, so let's make this straight, and Lightning Bolt that. At least we've got the cards. Although, he does have the Hero Power that helps him deal with that problem. So this is not looking good for us, I'll say. If Sue manages to grab the board, and I think our early mistake may have expedited that little problem. Oh my gosh. I wish I had an Elemental Destruction in my deck now. That's wishful thinking. This is not looking good for us. And I probably should have done Lava Burst first. I would have rather it hit face than it would have hit the Sea Giant. Yeah, this is not good. Although he may not be making... Yeah, he's going to make the trades. He knows how Warlock works. We're high enough rank here that I shouldn't count on any of those mistakes. It does give him more room to play other stuff. Can we race here? I don't think we can race here, no. We can try. I'm not too big a fan here. Can I kill this? Yes, I can if I Hero Power it. I probably should in that case. But I don't think we are able... I don't think we are even able to win this one. But that thing is going to run out of hand rather quickly. Should I have just gone for face here? Maybe just saved it up. I could have dealt 6 damage to face here, and then I could have drawn some burn to finish the game. Yeah, I probably should have, as ridiculous as that may seem. Might have given me a bigger chance. Oh, am I dead? I could very well be. Yeah, he didn't use any power overwhelmings yet. So when you lose the board, you basically lost the game. But that's how you beat Shaman. You just keep them off the board, and you try to stop the bleeding as much as you can. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching this episode. If you have any suggestion on what deck to play next, please leave a comment below. And I'll see you next time.